Let's talk about my recent book haul. Now, I don't normally buy a lot of books at one time. I went a little crazy this time because I had some birthday money that's just been lying around, and I was like, yeah, I should really use this to get some books because I've been wanting to buy books. Before I get into each of the books that I got, I just need you to appreciate this with me. They're all the same size. They're all uniform. My favorite format of book is mass market paperback. Now, a lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but I like the way they feel in my hands. I like the way they bend. They're so much easier to read. Hardback is horrible. The only time I will buy hardback is when they are the special edition versions. You can see Brandon Sanderson's versions there. I have a couple other Kickstarters where I have got the fancy hardback version. I don't prefer those though. In fact, like you can see the Brandon Sanderson Stormlight Archive books back there. I have Rhythm of War in the massive hardback, and I'm not very happy about it. I need to get that in paperback. So without further ado, let's dive into the actual books that I got. So before I get into the brand new books I got, these ones were a steal. Went to the library. They've got this program where you can go buy paperback books for like $1 or $2. Now, I don't know anything about these books or this author, but I read the back of these books. There you can see The Protector of War and The Scourge of God. So these aren't even the first and second book in the series. It's like the fourth and the fifth. I figure I'll pick up the other ones at a later date. But they look fascinating. They look incredible. Those covers are awesome, and they're huge, which I'll never complain about. I love big books, and once again, mass market paperback, it has my heart. So I'm looking forward to diving into these. Clearly, I can't read these yet until I actually get the first, second, and third books, but yeah, they sound fascinating. Looking forward to diving into those. So I'm one of those people, authors, who you hear this, you're like, what? You've never read those books? I 100% have not read the Lord of the Rings books. That's not because I haven't wanted to. It's just one of those times where I discovered them when I was a teenager. That's when I fell into the throng of school and extracurricular activities and all sorts of crazy things. So I never actually got to sit down and read them. But I decided to treat myself, and we got the first starter of these. So I actually have read The Hobbit. I just finished this book recently, so just a couple days ago, but loved it. Absolutely loved it. Now, I heard a lot of people complain about the writing style is too grandiose, too wordy. I also hear that The Hobbit is a little bit of a different writing style, so we'll see how I feel when I get into the actual Lord of the Rings books. But loved The Hobbit. It was not what I expected, I'll be completely honest with you, but loved it. The ending was fun. It's very how do I say this, quaint and comfortable of a read. I would say almost cozy of a read, although people might disagree with me. Now, I haven't read this book, but I'm looking to diving into it. There's so much in these books. Imaginative. The writing style is just very, like I said, quaint and comfortable. It reminds me of other books that I've read, in the older times. So it makes me wish that I could write in this style. I would love to figure out how to do that because it was just so fun. Now, of course, as with those books, I did mention that I haven't read these, but here we go. I got the whole trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm not really picky about the covers. Now, the one thing I don't love is, what is that sticker thing that they put on there? You can't remove it. It's printed onto the cover. Whatever, it is what it is. But for the most part, I don't really care too much about the covers because I like the content inside for it. But once again, just seeing these side by side, the small version, being able to just hold them in my hand gives me so much satisfaction. I also love the smell of mass market paperback. It's a really weird thing about those books. But I'm finally thrilled to have these books on my shelves. I plan on reading them as soon as possible. Actually, I have a few books that I need to read first for other independent authors that I've agreed to do ARC reads for. But once I get through those, I'm diving into the series. So thrilled to have these on my shelf. Then there's this is a complete cover buy. Never heard of this book before. This is what happens when you let Dan peruse in the bookstore. I saw this cover and thought, what is this? What is this book? It looks incredible. I know nothing about it. I read the back. Sounds fascinating. I don't know anything about the author. It's mass market paperback, which once again already has it winning for me. So I have no idea what this is going to be like. I've never heard of it before, but looks fascinating. It's the first book of the series, and more than likely I'm going to love it because I just love fantasy in this format particularly. Then I have heard a lot about these books, but I've never read them. And I know there's a lot of them, and so I got the first one. So this is Jim Butcher. This is the Dresden Files, the first book. I've heard so many incredible things about these books, and I haven't actually had the chance to read any. So I'm pretty excited. I got my hands on the first one. I have to admit, the formatting of the book is a little bit different than I expected. So if you can see here, the words aren't as closely knit together. It's not a problem. It's just a lot of the times you get these mass market paperback books, they're very, you can see here, like this. You can see how tightly the words are. Everything is just very tight, which generally indicates it's a longer book. I'm just a little bit surprised that this one, it looks like there's fewer words per page. Not a problem, not a complaint. I'm just surprised because you see this book and it's like, oh, this is going to be a pretty hefty book, but you know, it's a little bit different. The size is slightly cut. I think it's like half an inch longer on the top, so it won't look perfect on the shelves, but it is still, still paperback, smaller version of the paperback, which I prefer. So looking forward to diving into that. I imagine I'll get swept up in this series. I know there's so many books, I think something like 12 to 15, but there you go. That's another book that I got. I'm looking forward to diving into that. And last but not least, I saved this one because it does not match the format of the other books, but I did get The Beyonders by Brandon Mull. Now this, I believe, is a YA book, possibly even middle grade. I'm not really sure. I got it primarily for two reasons. One, because I'm always looking for books that my son can read. He's currently 9 years old, and he's always looking for fantasy and sci-fi books, and I need to be able to read this and recommend it. Now, it's by Brandon Mull, so more than likely it's fine for him to read that. But the second reason I got it is because I've been told that my books are similar to this, or they have elements of it. Now, I've never read it, so I have to judge that for myself. But I've been told that the Lightbearer Chronicles reminded people of The Beyonders. So, curious to know what that's all about. I don't know anything about the series. The back is a little bit, you can see there's not a huge description about what it's about. But that's okay, you know, I imagine by Brandon Mull. I've read the Fablehaven series. My son has read the Dragon Watch series, loved them. So it's going to be good. I anticipate that it's going to be very good. But I figured I'd grab the first book of that to take a look at it and see what we're doing. Now, once again, I don't love that it's so big. It's not going to match the other books, but I guess it's pretty close to this one. It's not too off. Still, I'm pretty excited to dive into that. So once again, that is unusual for me to get this many books at once. Still love that I can finally start filling up these shelves. You can see down there, that shelf is still so empty, and no complaints. The shelf is just really short. I'm looking forward to getting some taller shelves and filling those shelves, getting rid of some of these. These are actually empty. Those drawers, there's nothing in them. I need to replace them with books. So I'm looking forward to getting more mass market paperback books. To fill those, I have some other Kickstarter books that are coming in soon, which I'm looking forward to put on those shelves. In any case, yeah, I'm looking forward to all of the fun things, all of these fun stories. It's tempting me to spend less time writing and more time reading, which is never a good thing. I need to keep writing. Just keep writing. I've got a lot of books in my head that need to get out on the page. So I will not feed that temptation. I'll actually write like I'm supposed to. Still, all of these stories, it's so many words, so many adventures that I can't wait to dive into. In any case, thanks for joining me today on this. It wasn't really an unboxing, like book haul reveal. If you have any comments, definitely leave them below. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my other videos. Thanks for watching today, and I look forward to talking to you next week.